Queta just outworking everyone tonight as the Celtics get the win over the Philadelphia 76ers, 114-98, 27 points, 17 rebounds for Queta in this one. And here we go, Celtics postgame live. Tom Giles, Scal, Eddie. Scal, your thoughts on the C's and their ability to separate themselves in the end here?
Obviously, the story of this game is Queta, but really, to me, the 15 points given up in the fourth quarter when they needed to get stops, like that got dicey there. They won that game with their defense in the fourth quarter. Offense lost their momentum, lost their mojo, still got stops. But a lot of those stops had a lot to do with Neemias Queta on the defensive end, having a presence, rebounding the basketball. I thought he was great today, but as a team, another good win, another good defensive performance, which we are sort of getting used to seeing these guys do.
I've always been saying it all season long. You can't allow missing shots or not playing well on the offensive end to affect the way you play on the other end of the floor. You have to make sure that you play. You got to make sure that you're playing exactly the way you need to be playing on the defensive end. You got to be connected. And think about this. Peyton Pritchard had 0 points tonight, and we were still able to get a win. And I want to say 3 out of the last 4 games, he hasn't been playing particularly well, but we still found ways to win. And that just shows not only the coaching staff, but also it shows exactly what this team is made of. Other guys can step up and make an impact on winning.
Yeah, I mean, one of those guys, Scal already brought him up, and we got to get into it, is Neemias Queta. The fact that he had 27 points, 17 rebounds. I mean, the rebounds, we've seen the massive rebound night from him before, but to do both of them, to put together the career-high 27 points, what do you got?
Dick Light just sent this to us. First Celtic with at least 27 points, 17 rebounds, 10 offensive boards, and 3 blocks. Just a note on that, Bill Russell, when he played, they didn't track blocks. Right. But, I mean, look at the company. Look at the elite centers of this organization. And, 27-17, 10 offensive boards, and 3 blocks. He's the only Celtic to do it. He was all over the place right from the start of this game, and he brought it. And I should get better every single game.
Yeah, you called it at the beginning of this in pregame. You were saying he needs to be double-double if we're going to move forward and make a deep playoff run. And, I mean, we're not expecting him to give us 27 and 17 every single night in 3 blocks. We're not expecting that. But we do expect him to give us opportunity to be a double-double guy and also protect the rim. But on top of that, I got to look at organizations sometimes, right? And so I'm looking sideways at the Sacramento Kings. How do you have this guy and don't develop him? We get him, we develop him, and now look what he is. Look what he has become. And to me, it's just like a lot of organizations give up too soon on players, and they don't allow them to develop because it's right now almost like the Instagram world. Like, I need it right now. Instantly, it's DoorDash. I can't go make my own food because it's going to take too long. I need somebody to deliver it to me. And so I'm looking at it like that. Like, how did you let this diamond in the rough slide through your hands? But I'm so glad that you did, because he slid right to us, and he's paying dividends for the Boston Celtics.
And he showed tremendous growth from the start of the season to where he is now, Scal. I know that you also loved what you saw defensively. I know that Josh put some plays together.
Oh, nice.
About
There were the Celtic players. From what I saw to where they are right now, and just a reminder that you're not a finished product when you come to Boston. You continue to get better, and then you end up having like a remarkable game or a remarkable season like Queta has had.
And one of those guys you can probably put on that list that you were putting together there was Baylor Shireman.
No question.
12 points. There's wondering if he was going to play. He's got the fracture in the thumb. Obviously gave the thumbs-up celebration after a couple threes tonight, including one at the very end there. But, Eddie, what did you see from Baylor Shireman, who continues to stay in the starting lineup and produce?
He's just a guy that hustles. He plays hard every single play. There's no plays off. He doesn't take a – to stay in the league, to be a long-time productive player in the league, you have to play hard. If you're not a superstar player, not saying that he can't become a star player, but this is how you become a star. Defense leads to offense. When you locked in defensively, it becomes a whole lot easier on the offensive end.
His athleticism, feel for the game, and defense is off the charts. Great job by Joe Mazzulla inserting him into the starting lineup. When there's been different guys that have played that position, it feels like Baylor Shireman has really has a hold on that starting spot. I don't know how it's going to be when Jason Tatum comes back or what it's going to look like. I just know right now, like, he's one of the most impactful players on our team because it feels like he's always guarding the best player on the other team. He's doing a great job. He's knocking down shots. And now he's more aggressive, like getting to the paint and moving the ball. So just another guy that's continued to exceed expectations.
Yeah, and another guy, too, is in his second year. They took at the end of the first round just a couple of years ago and making contributions across the board. So, again, the Celtics get the win here 114-98. Another one we want to get into is Jaylen Brown, and he continues to just put up the numbers, give the game whatever it needs, Eddie, however you want to say it. But Jaylen Brown with 27 points, 7 boards, 7 assists in this one. Check that, 8 boards, 8 assists in this final tally there. But your thoughts on Jaylen?
My thoughts are the same thoughts I had in pregame, is that at the end of the day, he came into this season prepared and understanding exactly what he had to do. The quiet that he's showing that he could lead a franchise. They didn't think he could be a number one option. He's showing that he could be the number one option, but not only the number one option, but go guard the other number one option if he has to, at times, and shut them down and guard multiple positions. Not only one, not only a guard, but he can also guard centers. Like if he has to get switched off. So I'm not surprised at anything he's doing. I mean, the man's on a mission, and we should all understand that. We should all have understood that from the beginning of this season when we seen how he was playing.
Big-time shot maker, can make shots anywhere on the floor. But more importantly to me is his ability to dissect the different defenses thrown at him, whether it's blitzing him, the drop coverage, late switch. Like, he's handling all the coverages. So that is, to me, and when I watch guys, it usually takes a couple years for them to get it. Look at Tyrese Maxey. It took him like 2.5 years of like them kind of giving him the keys where he's like, okay, I finally figured this thing out. Jaylen Brown, it took him like 5 games at the beginning of the year. He's seen all the defenses and he has a shot for it. And I think he's doing a great job of getting other people involved.
All right, and once again, he got everyone involved tonight, including Baylor Scheinman, who's standing by with Abby Chin back at TD Garden.